All right, so I was looking at MicroStrategy, the 43 IV rank, not really the best liquidity. And they also have earnings coming up. Leaning a little bit bullish here, just
On
because of
MSTR?
on MicroStrategy, MSTR.
Yeah.
Leaning a little bit bullish here because of the potential for the ETF approval. We're trading at 620 right now. I'm selling the 510, 490 put spread, so 20 points wide down there. The 890, 910 call spread. They have earnings coming up. I just wanted to look at high IV stocks and really kind of see what's popping with them. Next, I was looking at GLD. Looking at GLD Iron Condor, 5 points wide. Let me see if we go back to the table here. I'm going to see these option chains here. I was trying to look at some ETFs because we got earnings around the corner. Everything's like kind of overlapping that 50-day till expiration, 60-day till expiration. It's within. So I was looking at like a half standard deviation Iron Condor on GLD, selling the 186, 181 put spread, selling the 200, 205 call spread. So half standard deviation, a little bit under that 2/3 of the width of the strike. Pretty nice probability of profiting 50% on it, a relatively small trade. Buying power effect of $345. If we go back to the curve analysis, we can see it's right in the middle of everything. Delta, slightly bullish deltas, maybe might be best to kind of bring that down to delta neutral, maybe even lean slightly bearish, but maybe it's good to just leave it here because gold's been on a tear higher. That's why I said maybe slightly bearish, play back into the slight reversion, but pretty much delta neutral right here. So that's GLD. I'm just trying to bang through all these real fast. I was looking at a USO Iron Condor, 3 points wide. Nothing too huge there. Again, I think this is also a half standard deviation. Let's take a look here. 24.16 and 25.16 on the delta. So yeah, half standard deviation here as well. Bid-ask spreads are kind of wide as well. If you can get filled at $1 or better, that's 1/3 the width of the strikes. Probability of profiting 50% is 67%. Small trade for a tasty bite-sized account. If we go back to the curve analysis, we can see right in the middle of the the distribution curve that suggested a little bit inside of the pink lines. Are the pink lines, Luis, on the Tasty platform? Are those the expected? Is that the expected move for 49 days, or is that something else? Because I know if we look at the table analysis, the expected move is the blue lines here.
Maybe it is. Yeah, I'm not pretty sure. The probability of expiration. Let's see. That's a good question. I'm actually checking, but I don't know.
I think that's the expected move. I think that's the expected move over. Yeah, it's just a different color. I mean, if we take a look at what the options market is suggesting for the expected move, we can get that ourselves. So let's see here. So you take the at the money straddle. What's that? So it goes 67. So let's see here. Take the at the money straddle and add it and subtract it. So 675 plus 67 is
60 and 73, no? Around.
Yeah, 60 and 73. Oh, interesting. All right, cool. So that's USO. What did I say before on it? It was a half standard deviation Iron Condor at, was it? Yes, 62 and 59. And then it was 74 and 77. Is that right? Or was that different? What was I at? Was it 62, 59 before?
Yes.
I think it was, yeah. Yeah, so that's what we're looking at there. Delta neutral as fuck. Pretty nice probability of profit, and a even nicer 50% probability of profit. I have two Russell-related products. The first one is IWM, and the second one is RTY, which is the futures. So there's two possible trades that we can have there. So let's see here. It is IWM. My bad, can't type. IWM. I was looking at a 5-wide Iron Condor. This is something that's very tasty.
5-wide. Are going defined risk for the start of the year?
Yes, I am staying defined risk. But yeah, trading small, trading proper, selling the 23 delta put. It's long in the 16 delta, so that's the 91.86 put spread. Selling the 213, 218 call spread. Again, I'm kind of wanting to maybe remain a little bit hesitant on taking on too much vol plays here, especially within the indices, because the VIX is at about 13 right now. So we got a low VIX. I don't want to find myself in a situation where the market wants to give back the gains that we've seen these past few months, and then VIX spikes to like 20, and then my probabilities get all screwed up. So I think I'm about all these trades that I'm showing you today, I'm going to take about maybe a third of them, probably try to remain away from some of the more sensitive products that are sensitive to the changes in the VIX. Most products kind of do respond to the VIX, but maybe, and what I'm saying is maybe like take a look at like the currency Forex futures, see if there's any trades there, vol trades there, or even commodities, something that's not super correlated to the VIX, such as like IWM, or the VIX is directly correlated to 30-day options on the SPX. So let's see what other trades I identified here. So that's a 5-point IWM half standard deviation iron condor. This next one is very interesting because I've been talking about it all the time for the past, I don't know how many months. Copper just does not want to give anything back in terms of implied volatility. I'm looking at selling a 5-point wide iron condor on copper futures, the 365, 360 put spread, the 420, 425 call spread. Beautiful 1-to-1 on buying power, about 2-to-1 roughly on max profit and max loss, but that's why I love span margin. Again, you could also kind of get bummed on that, because if it moves closer to your break evens, the span margin will readjust and you'll have to go through that. It's sometimes it's not the most sometimes it's misleading that you're putting up $350 of buying power, but your max loss is almost 3 times that. So you can get over leveraged very fast if you're trading a lot of span margin products. But probably profiting 50%, not even shown for futures. They got to get that updated in the next year. Probably profiting 100% at expiration, or probably profit. I think that's just to get $1 at expiration or whatever, is 60%. So I think that probably profiting 50% is around 75. Bid ask spread a little bit wider than I'd like it to be, but on a product like this, not too bad. Again, you also got to take into consideration that you're paying about $25 in commissions on a trade like this, a 4-legged futures trade. So you got to also kind of bake that in. Maybe you could bake it into the price of what you're trading for. You could set your order at like 175, 170, 165. It's kind of like above, maybe closer to where the ask is at, and kind of maybe wait for it to get hit if volatility maybe decides to expand. But we've seen an IV rank of in the copper in the 80s for a long time. It was even 90s before. I remember Vaughn owes me a Marlboro Reds t-shirt because some money on the copper trade a couple weeks ago. He wants to rip the casino with me wearing that, and that I'm damn well going to be smoking 2 packs of those at the casino. That's also a New Year's resolution. I don't.
What was your trade with Vaughn for the copper? You won.
Cigarette smoking. It was something similar to this. I think it was just a classic standard deviation iron condor with about 10 or 15 points of protection. So this is something that I really like because it's 1-to-1 on the buying power, high probability trade. So that's copper. Since we're on the metals talk, I'm going to go over to GC here. Looking at, what was I looking at on GC? It was like it was a 10 wide iron condor. Again, trying to remain small, remain methodical in my approach. 10-point wide gold iron condor. I did not have the strikes written down here. I think I was selling like the 210, 200 spread over there. Yes, it was like 20 delta 17. Yeah, okay. The 210, 210, 2000, and then to the call side, I was selling the 2200 and the 2210. Bid ask spread kind of wide as well. You probably have to set it a little bit higher. You can get filled 350, 360. It's probably a good point to have it. 370. Again, $25 to enter the trade because you have a 4-legged futures position. 60 days till expirations. Max profit of 370, a max loss of 630. So, but against your buying power, it's like 1.5 to 1 or 1.4, 1.3 to 1 around there. On
After all
the
the big moves on gold the past several days, weeks, it seems like it might even go to all-time highs. It got an intraday all-time highs of what was it?
Yeah, yeah.
Only
That's why
150.
there's more. There's a lot of call skew
Expected.
trading on these, so there's a lot more room to the call side. I see more risk to the call side, but maybe that's what market makers want you to think. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't really see gold going back down to that 2K level. But then again, what do I know? We just know probabilities exist, kind of capturing the more of the expected move to the upside rather than downside. Again, we were trading gold at the beginning of the year, and I remember gold spiked up to like 2040, and that was like a big thing. This is back in May when I was trading gold. I made good money on it back then because that's when volatility in gold spiked to like 65 IV rank or something like that. I made really good money on that, and that paid for my Vegas trip, so that was fun. Gold is one of those animals that just kind of it moves slow for a little bit, and then when it moves, it really moves. Yeah, but with gold starting to rise quite a bit this year, and people are expecting 2024 to be a big year for gold. Big things are happening just all around the
The
economy.
commodities overall, I've watched several Goldman Sachs reports saying they expect 20% increase in commodities for the upcoming year, which is pretty high.
Try driving an Uber, see if you're not too dumb for that. Who knows? Might end up LARPing again. Thank you for that comment. I really, you just gotta love your enemies. I think I never claimed to be anything I'm not. I'm been trading since I was 9 years old, so I think I know quite a bit. I've lost money. I've made money. I don't claim to be anything I'm not. My profession right now is I am an HVAC tech. I'm in school for HVAC. So that's like my day job. I don't claim to be anything I'm not. Well, actually, technically, this is my day job. Um, but yeah, I know that I am kind of in a marketing role here in a way. I don't claim to be anything I'm not. So maybe you should LARP somewhere else, head ass. Yeah. Anyway.
I agree with that.
Anyway, you know what? I don't. I don't. I don't want to say anything that is offensive to anybody. It's math idiot and you're math dumb LARP. Okay, cool. I don't give a fuck. And I want to say one more thing to you. Love thy enemy. That's what the Bible says. So I forgive you for all these insults that you say to me. I don't have anything that I don't claim to be. So, you know what? Just how about you go do something else and do something with your life? Um, so yeah, then I was looking at a 10-point wide NG gas futures iron condor. Let's take a look over here at NG. I was looking at the 195, 185, and the 315, 325 iron condor on natural gas. 62% pop, 340 max profit, 660 max loss. Similar to the GC trade in terms of max profit to buying power effect. This one is very, very wide within the expected move. 3.4 thetas. Very nice trade right there. I'm giving some pretty solid trades here. Going to see what I could do with the account. Again, all you can do is just improve on what you did yesterday. If you can improve 1% per day, that's a lot in the year.